The best tight end in the league is Darren Waller. The 2021 season is coming up and the times have changed. Gone are the days of Travis Kelce being the best tight end, and in comes the domination of Darren Waller. Before you call me crazy, just listen to the entire video. Waller just came off a sensational season with 107 receptions, 1,196 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Standing at 6'6", 260 pounds, he's the perfect combination of speed, strength, and timing. Throughout the entire season, he's shown his ability to overpower and outrace linebackers in secondary. Being a former wide receiver at Georgia Tech with a 4.46 40-yard dash, it's no wonder he blows by so many of his defenders. He's also repeatedly shown his big play ability. When you watch the film for the Raiders, many times a game Waller would catch a ball right over his defender or catch it with both hands in his face. His concentration and body control are unlike any other tight end, and the biggest examples are the catches you're seeing right now from Week 16 against the Dolphins. He was always covered, yet always open. Simply put, he makes the impossible catches look easy. They played perfect coverage on him all game, and he still managed to make every catch. The only two tight ends comparable are Travis Kelce and George Kittle. Kelce has been regarded as the best tight end in the league for years now, but I think that title has shifted to Darren Waller. In every aspect of being a tight end, Darren Waller is either better than or just as good as Kelce, the only exception being strength. Kelce is pure muscle and has a slight edge in strength over Waller. Even so, Waller still bullies every type of defense thrown his way. In terms of speed, Waller wins by a large margin. The amount of times Waller goes into motion and runs wheel routes and simply outspeeds defensive backs is absurd. At least once a game, Waller runs straight up the sideline and he sticks a catch right through a defender. Oftentimes, he also lines up outside the numbers against single coverage, runs a streak, and simply beats his defender by running straight, just like the play you're seeing now. He's a matchup nightmare. It's unbelievable how fast he is and how easy he makes catches look. That brings me to my next point, his route running. With the high-powered offense of the Kansas City Chiefs, the majority of Kelce's receptions come off of deep in and out routes. Another big portion of his yardage and catches come off of scrambles. When the first and second option are taken away from Mahomes, he's able to extend the play with his legs, and Kelce, being the smart player that he is, knows how to move with his quarterback so he can be found. On the other hand, Waller's route running is much more expansive. Not only does Waller run a variety of routes, including streaks, posts, drags, wheels, zigs, slants, and more, but he also has incredible explosiveness on his cuts. The separation he can get with one cut is significantly more than that of Kelce or any other tight end. Not to mention, his release off the line of scrimmage is incredible, as seen by the same play you saw earlier against the Chargers. It's a testament to his exceptional footwork and incredible timing. His acceleration and change of direction is like no other, which partly comes from his wide receiver days. And the one thing that separates the top tier tight ends from all the others is the blocking they provide. Kelce is an exception here, as his abilities past the line of scrimmage make up for his lack of blocking. Not saying he's a bad blocker, he just isn't used in the blocking game because of the play calling of the Chiefs. On the flip side, Waller is the second best blocking tight end in the league. Kittle definitely takes that title. I'm not going to lie to myself and say Waller is better than him at blocking, but Waller is still just as good. Watching Raiders game all season last year, he was effective in the run block, pass block, and block and release game. He has a wide base with strong arms and hands to push back opposing ends and linebackers. Right now, with the season approaching, it's impossible to make the argument that the numbers of Kelce simply make him better. Numbers are very deceiving. Although Kelce has just over 200 yards more receiving, Waller has 2 more receptions. They both acquired the same exact number of targets, but the offensive play style of both teams explain the discrepancy of yardage. Mahomes is constantly throwing nukes down the field to Hill and Kelce, whereas the Raiders work with short drag and flat routes for Waller. Not to mention, the Raiders have a much heavier running game than the Chiefs, and that should stay the same this year with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. That's another reason Kelce has more yards, because Hill gets most of the defensive attention. With Hill always being double covered, that leaves Kelce to go one-on-one most of the time. When defenses play the Raiders, Waller is the only one being double covered, yet it still doesn't matter. Waller makes those difficult catches right through traffic and has more catches than Kelce, with the same number of targets. The quarterback situation also plays a large role in the stats for these two tight ends. Mahomes is the best passing quarterback in the league, and it's not even close. His arm is strong and extremely accurate, and the plays they run always work. On the other hand, Derek Carr is indecisive and also oftentimes refuses to take the passes given to him, and instead throws rash passes deep. As mentioned before, Mahomes also can extend the play with his legs, shown by the 40 scrambles he had on the year, almost twice the amount of scrambles Carr had with 23. Not saying Carr is garbage, he's just nowhere near the level of Mahomes, which doesn't allow Waller to get the type of volume that Kelce gets. Many also make the argument that Waller needs to have playoff success in order to surpass Kelce as the number 1 tight end. That's just not the case. Kelce has had playoff success because he's had a fantastic team around him. Football is the ultimate team game, and Kelce and the Chiefs have simply been winners over the past few years. Waller has yet to play in a playoff game, but that'll come eventually. I can almost guarantee that if Travis Kelce wasn't on the Chiefs, it wouldn't make as big of a difference than if Waller wasn't on the Raiders. Without Waller, the Raiders would be borderline unwatchable. Put Waller in a situation like the Chiefs, and his numbers would be so much better. So really the only competition for best tight end is George Kittle. This one's going to be tough. Kittle is an insanely good tight end, and he's just entering his prime now. He's fast, extremely good at blocking, and powerful. The argument I'll make for Waller though is that he's repeatedly shown that his route running is better than any others. With the Niners offense, Kittle is often running 5-yard outs and in routes, which is normally left wide open. Then he's left to do the rest of the damage on his own, which he does. He's extremely effective after the catch. This doesn't take away from the fact that Kittle is quick, has tremendous footwork, and kills defenses after the catch. I'm just saying that he gets handed a lot more opportunities to show more of his skills. Waller has to do a lot more work to get his receptions and yards. Throughout every game, you can see Waller running all over the field just to get a target from Derek Carr. The wildest part is that no matter how covered Waller is, Carr will always throw it to him because he knows how reliable Waller is. Waller has repeatedly proven that he has better hands than Kittle because he's had to show it. The Raiders really haven't had anyone else reliable to throw it to, so Waller has had to step into that role. And when Waller gets his catches, he doesn't waste them. He knows how to use his size to his advantage, especially when he's playing outside the numbers. He doesn't waste any space or time doing useless double moves, he just makes effective cuts and moves to get his yards after the catch. In addition to the route running and hands, the coaching and the systems these two elite tight ends are a part of play a huge part in their respective successes. Kyle Shanahan is a really smart coach who has a very specific offensive scheme. In a nutshell, the Niners' offensive system is based mainly around plays that get quick yards. It's a fairly slow offense that often uses 2 running backs. It involves a fair amount of play action and checkdowns, which heavily benefits George Kittle, who runs a lot of shallow routes. On the other hand, John Gruden has a less than brilliant offensive scheme. The Raiders have a very heavy running-oriented offense, and more times than not, they'd run the ball on the first 2 downs before realizing they're not getting anywhere. The Raiders were in the top third of the league in rushing attempts and the bottom third of the league in passing attempts. But when they did throw the ball, the majority of the time it would be to either Waller or a ridiculously deep pass gamble to a wideout. It's not hard to see why coaching limits Waller's production and amplifies other tight ends' numbers. All I'm saying is that Waller has to work way harder for his catches and yards. Yet somehow, in 2019, when both these guys were fully healthy, Waller managed to accumulate more yards. Coming off an injured year, it's tough to currently say if Kittle is better. But in a few months, when games have been played and teams have been established, I think Waller will start to be seen by more people as the best tight end in the league. Not only is Waller the best tight end, but he's also fun to watch. Throughout the entire game, Waller can be seen laughing, smiling, and having fun with the game, while also staying humble. That trait goes back to some of his personal challenges earlier in life. I highly recommend watching some videos made on his past. It shows the type of person that he is. I'm only comparing Darren Waller to Kelce and Kittle because I personally think that they're the undisputed top 3 tight ends in the league. Of course, there's guys like Hockenson, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, rookie Kyle Pitts, and a lot more really good tight ends. But they're just not on the same level as the top 3 yet. And there's no wrong answer to this debate. There's a case for all 3 of these guys being the best in the league. I just think it's overwhelmingly clear that it's Waller. No matter how you look at it, Waller is, or to some people, is becoming the next great tight end in the league. I personally think he's already surpassed Kelce and Kittle as the best tight end. Sure, Kelce has been the best tight end for years now, but that's not the case anymore. It's time to stop living in the past, and it's time to start embracing the truth of the present. With the season coming up for the Raiders, fans should be excited to watch Waller play again, and thus continuing his outstanding play. But for now, the times have changed, and the title of the best tight end in the league now belongs to Darren Waller. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know your own opinions and some of your thoughts in the comments below. Check out other Phenom Media sports videos on the channel and head over to the Phenom Media website for even more sports content. Until next time, peace out.
For more creative, informative, and high-quality sports content, make sure to follow Phenom on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as all of the Phenom podcast channels for each sport. The link tree in the episode description includes a direct link to all of the aforementioned platforms, so click on that to access everything. Phenom boasts a team of over 100 youth contributors from around the world, covering every sport on every media platform. If you are interested in potentially joining the Phenom team as a writer or content creator, send an email to cole@phenommedia.net showing your interest. If you enjoyed the video, Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can grow the channel. We really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.